What's up guys, I'm James and welcome back to the Great Gambino channel. Today we're going to be going back and playing the Nintendo Entertainment System, the NES, the original Nintendo that came out back in 1985. Now I get a lot of questions on my TikTok streams and sometimes on Twitch to what my favorite game is, and it's always hard for me to answer because I've been playing video games for so long and I feel there's favorite games based on the generation console that I had played. So I thought it'd be cool to make a little series where I go through all of the consoles I have available to me and show you guys exactly what games I liked playing on the console and tell you a little bit about why I liked them. So I'm excited to jump back and play these old school games. The nostalgia always makes me have a blast. So without further delay, let's jump into it. It's the first, I think, video game I've ever even played. So this is very special to me. The sounds, everything. I had no idea what I was getting into when I got this. You know, it was Christmas and I was looking forward to toys like, let me turn this down a bit. I was looking forward to toys like every other year, plastic, like, you know, Masters of the Universe He-Man figures, Ninja Turtles, stuff like that. Possibly some electronic devices. You know, they had a lot of electronic games, like those little Tiger games that were terrible. But, you know, we thought they were cool at the time. Anything electronic was cool. My parents had one last gift for us, and it was the Nintendo. And I thought, cool, could we play it? And they said, no, we can't hook it up right now. It was like a big deal trying to hook it up because, you know, my parents didn't know how to hook it up, I don't think. Anyways, wait, where's the, I think there's like a free thing somewhere. Maybe it's the next one. Anyways, oh, it's right here. There's a little secret. So I didn't think much of it because I knew I couldn't play it that day. So this is going to be a toy in the future. And when I finally did have it hooked up, I remember thinking like I had no idea how cool this was. I would have begged and begged and begged them to hook it up if I knew this was going to become a massive addiction for me that I'd have so much fun with. And that's what it was. You know, Nintendo changed everything when it came out. You know, it was the thing that made kids of the 80s not want to play with plastic action figures anymore, because you can go into this world now. I'm invincible. You can go into this world and you can do anything. You could go on this crazy adventure with Mario in this other dimension. You know, you could play martial arts games, you could fly spaceships and helicopters, you could do all this stuff you never really could do before. It was a first level layer of immersion. Now, if you guys watch my channel, you know I do a lot of virtual reality, which is based mainly on immersive gaming, like very immersive gaming. Even though this isn't a headset where you're in an immersed world, where it feels like you're actually in that world, this was a first layer of that because you're staring into a window of another world where all these things are being presented on screen. It was different. Let me see if I get this 5,000. I doubt it. Oh, we did it. Nice. So yeah, everything about this game, the music. I mean, this is the start. This was the first game that made me love video games, and we played the hell out of this. Everybody did. Everybody played this game like crazy, and these first couple levels especially, the music's just crazy. Now, Mario 2, this is well-known information. In Japan, they made the real Mario Brothers 2, but they didn't think it was different enough for American audience. They didn't think it was different enough from part 1, and I believe they said they thought it would be too hard because it looked just like Mario 1, but it was more complicated. So this game was actually never meant to be. Now this is very well-known information, but just in case someone's listening that doesn't know, this game was originally called Doki Doki Panic. It was a completely different game, and that's why it's so radically different from any other Mario game. They basically just changed the sprites at the last minute. That's why none of the original bad guys are in it. You have these masked characters with like Jason masks. You're pulling these turnips out of the ground or whatever the heck they are. You don't fight Bowser at the end. You know, the whole thing is different because it literally was a different game. And get in. Oh. So they kind of tricked us. They made us think it was a Mario sequel, but it was just it was a bait and switch at the last minute. But I will say, I like this game still because I like that it's so radically different and weird. What I wonder is, if they didn't ever swap out the characters for the Mario characters, would anyone even know what this game is? Would it have received any play or hype at all? I wonder that, because there's a lot to it. It's a well-made game. And that's that. And the cool thing about this is there was more characters. You didn't just have Mario and Luigi. Like, I could use Oh, I was gonna say I could use the princess and she floats. Each person has a different strength, so you have a little bit of hang time to think things through in the air, just a couple of seconds. Mario's like well-rounded. Luigi, he can jump really high, and they say Toad is like stronger, but I don't know how to confirm or deny that. But just look how cool this game is. There's all these different areas to go in, secret passages. It's a cool game, but all right, let's switch to the next one. Probably the most successful popular game on the entire system. I don't know any game on this console that probably sold better or was more well received than Mario 3. Everybody had it. Like if you had a Nintendo, you had Mario 3. And of course, you know, now for the American audience, it's getting back to that original look. And that's because it's the true Part 3. We did get the actual Part 2 eventually of Mario. We got the real version of Mario 2. I believe it was called Lost Planet, or Lost Levels here. I think it was on some compilation disc of some sort. Something like that. Oh, and then you can fly. There's all sorts of little tricks. I know if you hold your head down like this, it'll fall through certain parts of the map. Level. I guess it wasn't called maps back then. Everybody loves Mario 3. It's just a classic, and I think it's held up well over time too. I think all the Mario games have really held up over time. My favorite is probably Super Nintendo's Super Mario World, at least for the 2D side scrollers. I like how you could just slide. Woo! And that'll do it. Mario 3, 1, 2, 3. I mean, it started out with a classic trilogy. You can't beat it. Everybody loved the Turtles arcade game. That was like really popular, and I was expecting that, but we got this instead. And I enjoy it because of, again, it's nostalgic. Just about everything on the Nintendo's nostalgic to me at this point. But this game it just wasn't what we wanted. I'm only showing it because one of my all-time favorite games on the system is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. And that came, I don't know, maybe a year after this. And that was Nintendo's attempt at recreating the actual arcade game. I had no idea it was coming because, you know, it was during a time where you didn't know a game was coming unless you went to the store and it was there. And so one day I remember I went to KB Toy Stores and there it was, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game, and I lost my shit. I couldn't believe it. And that was just my mission. I had to have that damn game. And I did get it, and it was one of my favorite games ever. But you get the idea of this one. Why can't I go in there? So this game, you know, it's notoriously hard, and it's just, you know, it's not ideal. It's not what people wanted to play. It wasn't what we were looking for as fans of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But guess what? We played the hell out of it anyways because it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And, you know, when you're eating Ninja Turtle cereal and playing with the toys and wearing the t-shirts and everything, if there's a Nintendo game that exists that's Ninja Turtles, you're going to play it even if it's not that graphically impressive. You know, but that's how it was. You'd go get the next character and then you go in and do the same thing. And, you know, you get your little sickle size here. And that's what it was. But let's switch over. I'm going to show you Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, the arcade game. Let's use Donatello. Yeah, Donatello. Purple's my favorite color. So this was really good. I mean, we had the cutscenes and everything like the arcade. If you go on my Twitch, you can see I played the full arcade version. You'll see there are differences graphically, and they're noticeable, but we didn't care because it still played somewhat like the arcade game. And now the code didn't work. I don't remember it. Normally it'll give you like 10 lives, but whatever. We're only playing like a level or two anyways. Yeah, but just great game. Now you can do this one double attack, I remember, and it'll hit them and kill them with one hit. Yeah, I just remember playing this with my neighbors and everyone. It was one Christmas it came out, and it just endless hours of fun with many people. Yeah, and I really wished at the time they had tried to make more arcade-style beat-em-up games on the Nintendo, but it was rare. You had Double Dragon, you had this. The system just wasn't as capable. Shortly after that, of course, we got the Super Nintendo, and then, yeah, you were able to have all the beat-em-up games you want that were much closer to the arcade, but, you know, this was fun at the time because you knew it was going for the arcade game look and feel. It had enough elements in there that it got the job done. And then, of course, there's the Pizza Hut logos in the back. And everybody that knows the history of this game, it came with a Pizza Hut, I think it was a free personal pan pizza coupon that came on either on the box or it was on the instruction manual. Yeah, Ninja Turtles, the best game ever. I'll never forget one time I went to see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 in the movies, The Secret of the Ooze. And I was so excited to go to the arcade afterward. I don't know, I had like $10 worth of tokens or whatever. And that's what I did. I put the money in the machine, get all the little tokens. And I was playing Ninja Turtles and having a good time. And then I went over to a game called Combat Tribes, the Combat Tribes. It was another beat 'em up. And what people would do back in the day is, you know, they'd put their tokens, they'd line them up on the arcade bezel, the arcade, you know, the plastic of the arcade. And you put it up there just so, you know, you'd have it ready to put the coins in, the tokens, when you wanted to continue after you died. And the Combat Tribes had a small gap from the plastic, you know, to the little thing the little level piece of plastic that was on the actual plastic protecting the screen. There's a little space. All my tokens fell down that little gap. Oh my God, this thing's so hard to kick. All my tokens, I was so upset because I was looking forward to that day so much. Watching Ninja Turtles, going and playing arcade games. Oh, you son of a bitch, come here. Anyways, yeah, that was, I never forget that because I lost that and I couldn't play the arcade games. And I had a cousin who was like super, he had everything. He always had all the games, everything. He had a ton of like tokens. And so I just had to chill with him while he played. We were kids. He wasn't going to like give me his tokens, you know? No way. Tokens were, you know, exclusive. All right, so it was cool. They even had the, you know, Rocksteady coming through the ground, the animation of all this. Would you just die already? I'm just trying to get through this over here. You know, I'm just trying to be a pro. Oh, I died. All right, whatever. Well, that's the end of that. And the weird thing about it is you can't win. There's no end to it. It's like somewhat procedurally generated level, and it just goes on and on forever. But it's a helicopter game, top down. Like, this music is crazy for me because it's just like Mario. Not many people played this, but this music reminds me of just being exposed to video games for the first time, just like Mario does. Now, this was nowhere near as good, but it was okay, though. I mean, you know, it's one of those situations where a lot of other gamers say this, you played whatever the hell you had because you couldn't go out and buy like a bunch of games. You didn't have access to games like now. There was no Game Pass. There was no way to download games. I mean, you didn't have a zillion games on phone that are either free or very affordable. There was only so much out, and you know, you played what you had, even if it was bad. And I played many, many hours of this. I think I could blow this up. No, maybe not. The music, the game, it's Gym Start. Okay, let's go with Gym Start. I have 0% done, so did I get my sword? Okay, so yeah, you know, kind of an open world game, adventure game. Everybody knows Zelda. I don't have to explain it, but this one should be here because it is one of the best games ever made on the NES. This is a game that I wish I got into when I was young. I don't know if it was just a little too hard for me. I always go walk around and just play with the sword until I'd lose my, you know, I'd lose my little laser that shoots out of it, and I'd get bored. I didn't know where to go or what to do. I wasn't good at like secret games. I don't know, maybe there's a word. I still, to this day, have never really played this game through, so it's something I should do. You could use tutorials online now too, so you could, you know, anyone could get through the game, I'm sure, if you follow the tutorials. Anyways, I just want to show this one because it has to be on the list. It's a game that I do like. That gold cartridge that it came on, the music, the look, the colors, it's just early classic Nintendo, and it has to be on any list. Now, this is a game that I didn't ask for. I didn't know what it was. It was just one Christmas I received it. My first like puzzle style game I ever played. And yeah, I didn't know what it was at all, but I said, hey, you know, again, it was during the time where you just liked whatever the heck you had. Let's go with level 0 just to show. And I had no idea that this game was gonna become such a like cult classic and be remade forever. And you know, a lot of people still love this game. I don't know if I would have asked for it though myself because I liked more action games. I was a little boy, you know, I liked action games. I liked, you know, fighting games and stuff like that. I wanted to run around and be a ninja and stuff. You know, so this one was, but I did have fun with it because it was, oh damn, it was a good game. So you get the idea, you know, you drop pieces, you have to reshape them and you know, you try to keep things leveled down as long as you can, and you level up more and more and more and more, and it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. But that's Tetris. I saw one little image of it on the back of a Nintendo Power magazine. It was just in there. And I said, wow, there's a ninja game and it looks pretty good. I hope it's good. Of course you didn't know. And I don't remember, I got it for Christmas one year, or something. I have no idea, I don't remember when I got it or why I got it, but I did like it, it was awesome. And I'll show you what I like about it. Okay, so I don't even remember this taking place in New York City, but apparently I'm a New York City ninja. Okay, so you walk around, you got your ninja stars, you jump. The graphics were pretty good, the sprites were decent size. Now one of the things I liked about this, that's a clue I guess, the man in the red knows something. Which one's the man in the red? Oh, say, okay, so you could grab them like that. You could put them in a chokehold and you know, get information from them. And I thought that was pretty cool for a Nintendo game. I don't know anyone else that had this game. I think I was the only one I knew that had it, but it was a really good game. And I think you also get like a cape that allows you to fly, kind of like Mario in Super Mario 4, Mario World for the Super Nintendo. So I'm remembering that. I don't know if I'm accurate, but good game. Check it out if you want to play something cool on NES that is pretty rare. Not really a good game, I would say, but I played it because it was a martial arts game. In the 90s, I would have played anything that had martial arts, and this was one of them. So I think Blade and Striker. Yeah, Blade and Striker. Let's just go ahead. Doesn't really matter. I think they're exactly the same. And that's how characters talked back then. Their mouth just opened and they were completely static. And this game was weird though, because most games would have a kick and a punch button. This one just has one button that does the attack. If you hit both buttons together, there was a super move. Okay, you could do like, I don't remember. But you mainly hit the one button and it punches. Every now and then it'll throw a front kick. And the movement was it was like a low frame rate, very choppy movement. And it's very blinky overall, the game. So, you know, I remember at one point I was trying to decide between getting Renegade, Bad Dudes, and Double Dragon 1 year for my birthday. Thank God I got Double Dragon. It was the best out of all of them. But I did eventually get this, and I still had fun, like I said, but I realized, wow. Because, you know, when you see these games in the magazines and stuff, you just see one picture. You know, it might be just like him like this, or him doing a cool kick. And you don't know that the frame rate's choppy like this. That's the thing you saw. I remember seeing in the ad, they always show, there it is, there's the kick. They always would show the kick. You didn't know what you were getting until you got into it. And I did play this game a lot, and I beat it. This character actually had his own game called Karnoff. I think that's how it's pronounced. And the music here that you're hearing is from his game. You gotta beat him, because at the end he'll go, I'm bad. But it sounds so choppy and horrible. But I remember I was still impressed back in the day because games didn't talk yet. So the fact that even though it's muffled and sounds horrible, I remember being impressed that he talked. No. Let's just jack him up. We only got a little bit left. Here we go. I'm bad. That's what you got. That's impressive. Oh my God, a video game just talked to me. Wow. Can't play Bad Dudes without playing Double Dragon. Probably, other than like the Marios. Double Dragon was definitely one of my favorites, in the top 3 I just loved this game. I was a karate kid growing up, and this was like my first, you know, we got the Nintendo. We started realizing, you could play all these different games, but this was my first martial arts based game. And every kid in my neighborhood loved Double Dragon. We always talked about it. One kid in the neighborhood had it. And yeah, it was just, you know, it was a beat 'em up style game for the NES, and it was really well done. There's lots of secrets, tons of moves. Now you start out with just some basic moves, but as you see that one heart down at the bottom left, as you go, you build up more hearts, which allow you to do more moves, and it kept the game fresh. It was really good, and I'd get pretty far. I would always die on the cave level. I believe it was level 4, because it just got so hard. You're doing a little platforming in the cave. There'd be spikes that would drop on you, and that's it. It was so hard to get through them. I would always die there. You could pick up weapons too. That was kind of cool, and just a good variety of enemies too. You have those big giant muscular ball guys. I think they're called the Bobas. Okay, I just need a few more hits and I'll get it. You can see 900. Every time I think you hit 1,000, you will get a power up. Okay, that noise. So now it adds that spin kick. That one right there. Boom. You get a new move. So your character kind of levels up automatically to the point where you could start doing things like you get down on top of them and you start punching them on the ground. You could start knee striking them. You can grab them by the hair and knee strike them and throw them over your shoulder. You can do all sorts of stuff. Look at that facial expression when he gets hit. He's so shocked. How dare you hit me? Okay, so here's the first big guy. You got a little boss fight here. Now you can fight cheap and get him down here and just... yeah, and cheat it, whatever. We'll give 2 levels, because this is Double Dragon, one of my favorites. And I gotta show you where the trick is, too. There's a trick where you could really get whatever you want going. Okay, so here's the trick. You come over to the edge here, climb down, don't fall. You gotta be careful, you don't wanna fall. Come over here, trigger these guys to come after you. And right about there, you wanna stop the character right in front of that red set of whatever the heck those are in the background. You come down here, climb down here. Okay. Now you want to go back up. Now I always would do this. This is how you get all of your hearts to unlock all of your moves early on in the game. Come back down here. Now the game thinks there's a glitch that he's still here. And so you could just boom. So now I just got another heart. You could just sit there and keep spamming it like that until you have all, I believe, like 9 hearts or something like that. I'm not gonna do that now, but let's just do one more real quick. My GoPro's getting real hot. I hope it doesn't turn off. If it does, I'll just disappear for a second and you'll see the game, hear my voice, and then I'll come back video later. So now I got the jump kick, see? Another trick on this level at the very end, when you get to the very end boss, you can go all the way up, the boss will come out, then you just go down 2 flights of stairs on a building and it ends the level. But let's move on to the next game. We're gonna do Double Dragon 2 because super excited when that came out. We were waiting for this one for a long time. This was gonna be multiplayer, first Double Dragon game on Nintendo to be multiplayer. And I was so excited to get this one. I got it at Toys R Us. I remember getting it. You'd go get those little slips of paper that was in front of a picture of the box of the game. Brought it up to the back where they had the games and they brought it out for me. But this game was weird because you'd punch, but if you could see on my controller, if I turn the other way, now that's kick. You'd have to actually use the other button. Same thing, you know? So if I'm kicking here, now I switch the other way, that's gonna be punch, the kicks. So that takes a little getting used to. That was a weird controller setup. And I remember feeling like that was awkward and I didn't like that. But the game itself was good. There's all these other like spin kicks you can do and stuff, and I don't know why it's not letting me do them. I just maybe forgot how to do it. Oh, there it is. You have to hit up and both the buttons at the same time. Let's go up here. Can I ditch? I always felt like that reflection on the back of his head looked like a bald spot. Oh, okay, you get like a special move like the knee strike. It's weird, it's not letting me do it, but you saw the move. It exists, I didn't make it up. So this is basically Double Dragon 2. Same style of game, a little bit bigger, more to it, and you know, same concept though. So this is a great game. One of the top classics in my opinion. Like traditional, just original Nintendo games that it was just good. You know, basic if you look at it now, but a great game. And you could hold the other button down to get a little extra speed. It just played well, it felt good, you know, it was easy to control the character, you could pop wheelies and all that. You could just ride a wheelie, you could do whatever you want, you know? Let's get a little juice. Now those really send you flying. Oh, those will slow you down, you don't want to do that. So you could overheat. Now if you hold it down too long, you're gonna have to take a break. Almost overheated there. Yeah! One of my favorites for sure. Excite Bike. Which reminds me, another classic game, Ice Hockey. Let's check that out. I loved Ice Hockey. Oh, the music on this one just gets me. Now, I was definitely not a sports person, you know, but you could change the different size of the character, how heavy you want them to be. So we'll go with like one that's skinny because they'll be faster. We'll go with a nice medium sized. We'll have one big and we'll go with another medium. And that's it. Now you have your characters you can fight in this game, which is just a scramble with little blood sparks. It was just a fun competitive game and we'd play this for hours with friends in the neighborhood. Ah, well they scored on me. That's likely to happen, you know? Get it. You're fast as the wind. No, but he's weak, so they took it from him. Go, 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 you can do it. Come on. Okay, there's that scramble that could lead to a fight. Like you shoot the puck because you don't want to like line up. You know it's only a matter of seconds before they take it from you. Oh, damn it. But that's what a goal looks like if you were good. And they got another one. Let's move on to the next game. Another early martial arts game, Kung Fu. Another good one. I believe this was a launch title. Strange, I guess, that it scrolls the opposite way of pretty much every other game, but I guess that doesn't really matter. I loved the sound effects, how snappy it was. Classic Nintendo, like early days. Launch title. Damn it! You get the idea. Kung Fu. You keep going up, different levels. It's kind of like Game of Death, Bruce Lee style setup. You got to keep going up different levels and get to different bosses. Contra, early classic, up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. You got to have that code. I think that's what it is. And you get those, I think, 30 lives or something like that. But we're just going to do a quick little show, a couple seconds here. Contra, I mean, one of the best games. Back in the day, late 80s, early 90s. I think it was late 80s. You know, you're talking Arnold Schwarzenegger's on the scene, Sylvester Stallone, you got Rambo Commando, and that's what you're looking at, basically. So, you know, this is another one of those games where you collect stuff like this, and it changes up your weapon. You get cooler weapons, you get weapons that spray, spread, lasers, all sorts of stuff, and you go on a crazy mission, and you fight off all sorts of baddies. It's a good game. It's a game that's hard but playable. You can, if you practice, you can get far in this game, or you can fall and die like that. Now this is a personal game for me. Not a lot of people would like this game. This one has special meaning for me because I think this is the fourth game I ever had. I had Duck Hunt, Mario, like Super Mario Duck Hunt, and I had, you know, the Tiger Heli game or Tiger, whatever it is. And then this was the next game I got, next time I got a game. Use a torch to fight like the fireplaces. So you had that central map, and then you just walked in these areas throwing rocks. I was a huge fan of like Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger, Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees. So my sister and I were both horror movie fans, and we agreed on this game because it was a Jason game. Didn't really feel like a Friday the 13th game, kind of a little, I guess, but it was cool. You can go into like these little three-dimensional somewhat setups where you're searching, nothing in here, and then, you know, get the heck out of here if you can, and you keep going. Eventually, Jason will show up and terrorize you. It's very hard. You search through caves, you go to all these different places, and you know, you can see yourself on the map here where you're going. So you actually, there is a method to it, getting through the game. You go through the forest, you go through the cave, and you know, you see the lake and everything. And there's different ways to fight Jason, but not a game I'd recommend, I guess, but it's special to me because it was one of the early on ones for me, so I put it on the list. Now this is I feel this is an underrated game. It was a martial arts game, and you know, there's a movie called Fist of the North Star. I believe comic books and everything. It's its whole franchise. I gotta be honest, I always liked this game. You gotta collect these rings and you gotta collect stars. And kind of like Double Dragon where you get the hearts, the more stars you get, the more moves you get. You start getting more like machine gun kicks and things like that. I really liked this game. I liked the music, I liked the level design, and I love that when you kick the guys, they just go flying for miles. You know, eventually the same thing. You'll progress through and then you'll get to a boss and you kick his ass and you'll go about your day. You get those big, there he is, here's the boss. Let's just fight this one boss and then we'll be out. Yeah, look at that. That's it, done. That's how I do things. Okay, so a lot of people don't like Karate Kid. I am a huge karate fan, and I was a karate kid growing up, so obviously this game I liked. I don't hate this game. I hate how it gets really hard. I like how it starts out in the karate tournament. You know, every now and then you get a crane kick you'll throw in there. I enjoyed this part of the game. You know, it's like this is part one in the movie. Oh, you get the kicks. There you go, I crane kicked him right at the end there. Crane kick right off the top. You're gonna get another one right to the nuts. Crane kick. Kia! All right, took away this guy with the blue suit, and they get a little bit harder. I mean, this is the tournament. You know, we're at the tourney, and where's Mr. Miyagi? He's not in the background. There's just a gigantic judge who's like maybe 5 to 10 feet taller than the average human. Okay, so now this was cool. This was like part two, and that's cool. You know, you got the outfit for part two, you got the palm trees, we're in Okinawa, kicking some ass. Kia! I didn't hate this game. You know, I know it's been torn up on the internet because the ups, the jump and stuff. Back then, I don't think that, like, I wasn't mad that up was jump because just gaming in general was so new to a lot of us that I think developers were just trying different things still. And can I go in there? Oh, the block ice challenge. How do I do it? Yeah, almost all of them. You know, kicking ass. If you're a big Karate Kid fan, you would have enjoyed I enjoyed it back in the day. I didn't care. I was Daniel LaRusso. I was kicking some ass. You know what I would like? A good Cobra Kai game now. They have one out, but it's I would like a good Karate Kid World game. So, you know, again, a lot of these games, you know, they're playable for a while. You can get through the first couple levels. I'm going to play another game next that is along the same lines. A game I liked more than this, but once you get past level 2, the game becomes just unplayable. And this is one of those games, too. You get a little bit further, and the challenge just gets so hard. Give me the flies. Got 2. I can accomplish anything. I got a lot of them. I'm only missing like 2. Oh, we gotta save the girl in the tree. There, we saved her. That way, later in the future, when we're doing Cobra Kai, she's gonna save our car dealership business. Getting through this level. But that's the idea of that. You know, it will, one level ahead, it will get very, very hard. Now, this is another one of those games. First couple levels, you can get through them. It's a normal game. And everybody knows this. Battletoads is notoriously hard. But once you get past the second level, it's just the game becomes friggin' impossible. And this was the alternative. Everybody liked Ninja Turtles. You know, this was like an attempt to get some of that space, that Ninja Turtle, get a little piece of that. And I think there was room for it because, you know, for every Coca-Cola, there's Pepsi. For every Microsoft, there's Sony. For every, you know, for every Android, there's iPhone. There's iOS. There's always a choice of two, you know, and this could have been the next franchise that was like the Ninja Turtle alternative. But here's what I liked about this game. There wasn't a lot of good beat 'em ups on Nintendo that felt kind of arcade-ish. This was very arcade-ish, like the quick, fast combos. I'm just running around so I could show you. I don't want to waste it. And then you get that big fist. It felt good. The sound effects, listen, here we go. Boom. I loved that. And like weird things like this, and you could beat it up, and you get a stick. You could pick characters up and body slam them. Now you get... I wonder if they made the game normal and didn't make it friggin' impossible. I wonder if everything for Battletoads would have been different. I wonder if kids would have liked this game, because until it gets unplayable, I thought it was a really good game. Oh, look at that. You could use your tongue to get the... I mean, how cool is that? You're sticking your tongue out to capture those little flies. It just makes me wonder if you could play through, let's say the game had like a good 6 to 8 levels that were all, maybe the challenge was there, but it was playable. Kind of like Turtles 2, the arcade game. Would this have been a more popular game and the franchise maybe would have been more successful? And I know they did the full run. They had a short pilot for a cartoon, you know. They were trying to do the whole thing with this, but maybe it would have worked. You know, maybe it would have been successful if kids were able to like the game a lot. But here's the truth. You get past level 1, level 2 you could beat, level 3 becomes so much harder that the game just literally feels like you paid for a demo. It's like a demo, you know, you play 2 levels and that's all you ever can do. Unless you're like coordinations, you're absolutely gifted with the gift of coordination, hand-eye coordination, then anyways, the second level is cool. You're hanging and you're jumping back and forth with swords. It plays completely different. It's a good game, other than the fact that it's impossible. This has got to be one of my top 3 favorite NES games, for no question. This one I still will play, and it's fun today. You know, the concept of the game, the way it plays, it's playable. The sound effects, the animation, I love this game. It was just perfect. The game was perfect. And I do think, honestly, there's an arcade version. I honestly believe that the NES version was cooler than the arcade version. The arcade had better graphics, I guess, but this was just so fun and playable on NES. Damn, it didn't give me any stars. Well, I get a knockout here. Glass Joe, first one's always easy. But you know, as you go, the characters get crazier and crazier and bigger, more animated, in the animation on their faces when you're punching them, it's crazy. There you go, you got a star. So you just hit that start button, boom. Each character has a different little thing, you know? So his thing is his little head wiggle. Just like that, you know? It comes right back to you. Of course, you know, the goal of the game is to get to the end where you fight Mike Tyson and he kicks the living shit out of you because he's so hard. He hits you one time and you're done. Oh, no, he's up. Oh, see what I'm saying? They make you think you got it. Like, look how big the character is. Eyebrows. See the eyebrows move? And the big boy's down. Rampage. The NES version was different than everything else, but this game was cool because it takes about 3 hours to play through the entire thing. You can play multiplayer. The strange thing is that you can't die in this game. It's literally you run around destroying the buildings, eating things, eating people. Like, check this out. Chew them up. You just destroy the buildings and then eventually they collapse, and that's what you do. You go through the entire, I believe the entire country, just basically destroying the entire country. Not much of a challenge to the game, but I still had fun with it. I'd rather have a game be ridiculous easy than ridiculous impossible, because at least it gives you more time to run around doing something and play. So I did play this for hours and hours. To me, that's better than playing a level or 2 over and over and just giving up and never touching the game again and having the cartridge collect dust. So, yeah. Now, River City Ransom, it's along the lines of Double Dragon. I feel like it was underrated because I go back and play this game. It's pretty cool. You can buy new moves, you collect money, it's multiplayer. There's a lot in the game. There's a lot of different areas to cover. There's cool moves that you can buy. I think what we didn't like is the way the characters look. They're very like blocky looking. Double Dragon, the characters I felt like had a different look. They were more slender. These are very, but now I love the way the characters look. It just looks like River City Ransom to me now, so. And you could run, yeah. But this was a really, really, for the time, good game. And you gotta talk about Paperboy because everybody had Paperboy. It was one of those games that everybody liked and everybody, even parents wanted to play it sometimes, but it was really hard. Oh shit, I wasted papes. Now you gotta try to get the papers in. Oh, And it's just so hard. There's so much stuff. When I was young, I was able to get pretty far. I don't remember what houses I'm supposed to, but it's almost impossible. You have to memorize where you have to be at all times, or you're just not gonna make it. Just take the papers. Oh, you take some papers too. You're supposed to be delivering these, but I'm out of papers. Yeah, whoa, I cannot believe that happened. Cross the street, give me some more papes. I did a terrible job delivering papers. All this woman's chasing me down. No. And I think it starts you right at the very beginning again. All right, guys, I'm gonna end the video there. I had a great time and I hope you did as well. Next up, we're gonna be playing TurboGrafx 16 because it is the next game in the timeline out of the systems I own. Thank you for sticking with me all the way until the end, and I'll see you guys in that next one.